Banana zone is something that both Arthur and I talk a lot about. It's that point in the cycle where liquidity comes in, where central banks need to refi all of the debt. It's when politicians bribe the people with plenty of candy. It's that moment that crypto tends to go vertical. And it's very cyclical. It's driven by this macroeconomic forces of this debt refi cycle. It affects all the asset prices over the time. But crypto is the one that goes truly bananas. So again, the simplest way is don't fuck this up. So just have a core portfolio, the big stuff. But if you get the other stuff right, you can make a lot of money in the other stuff. The 10, 20% of your portfolio, there's a bit more degen. That's when you're going to see some really interesting stuff. Now, if you go back to the classic banana zone from the last cycle, that's when Solana, Avalanche, Luna, and Matic came. And those, the performance in 1 year out of those 4 tokens was insane. We're going to see that repeat. Who's it going to be? What's it going to be? I don't know yet. But that's a game to be had in the banana zone. And it's part of the fun that you can actually degen in and feel like you've really nailed something. Because really most of the game is just doing nothing and just letting it all play out. When you narrow everything down, the outcome for everything is printing money. So the worse anything happens in the US, the more likely they are to print money. So election years tend to be very, very positive, and the year after for risk assets, just because everybody's buying votes and then kind of proving themselves afterwards and mocking up pieces and paying that interest on the debt. So there's that military side. You've then got all the retirees who are the baby boomers with all the votes. Well, they want their healthcare. And then the third part of the equation is somebody needs to pay the interest on the debt. And the only way of doing this is the magic money printer.
Raoul, you mentioned that you are 90% Solana. So is there anything else within the Solana ecosystem that you've got on your portfolio or on your watch list right now?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to do nothing. The one thing I've been observing is stuff like the ETH Bitcoin cross. You know, ETH got into the total hate zone, which always gets interesting to me. And then the ETH Bitcoin cross starts breaking higher, bounce right off the bottom of the range. I'm interested in that because that's the start of altcoin season in its truest form. So if it breaks a bit higher than here, we can see why that will happen now, because the ETF, it's been delayed a bit, but we saw it with Bitcoin. The run starts well before the launch. So that then recycles capital up the risk curve, and that's banana zone. So for me, the focus is the banana zone, trying to get that right, because that's where you can make a lot of money. So you kind of have to focus, even if you're not doing anything. You just, you don't want to lose your coins, because that's the most painful part of losing it is in the banana zone. Just hold on to your coins, and also don't fuck it up by owning the wrong stuff, getting way out the risk curve, and you're left where the whole middle of the crypto market rallies, and you're so far out the risk curve in some weird political token from South Korea that you miss out on the entire rally, which I've seen. Or you're still stuck in the last narrative. You're stuck in, one of the big layer ones from 3 cycles ago, thinking it's definitely going to come back this time. What's so interesting about meme coins is that utility is either zero or small, right? Bonk has some utility, Shiba Inu has some utility, but the actual cultural value is the attention that these things get. The attention is upstream of everything. And so it's so easy to understand. You don't need to value it as, does this capture attention? Is that attention persistent? And do I get some sort of feel-good factor or status by owning it? And it's the same as a LVMH, a Louis Vuitton handbag. And it's the same with fine wines. It's the same with the meme on the internet that you share. It's all the same thing. It's just concentrated attention. So if you think of a lot of the degen stuff is basically attention. I don't have enough attention to give out because I'm too busy. So I've kept it pretty straightforward. So I've got Whiff, Bonk. I still own Doge because I still think Elon's going to do something with Doge. And that's about it. I observe the space. Everyone reads Ansem's feed and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, stuff like that. But I don't have enough attention to give out to the attention that it needs. So you can actually need to know what you're doing a little bit. So Arthur is obviously, he's a man of leisure. He can do whatever he wants. He's got time.
Yeah, I mean, to Raoul's point, my leisure consists of running around a court and hitting a felt ball, or putting on a piece of board and skiing down a mountainside. So I also don't have the attention to spend on which particular doggy coin is the hottest one. I own some with Dogecoin as well. I think Dogecoin is going to get an ETF by the end of this cycle, just because.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Oh,
because it
really?
should
And
do. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it's the oldest
Wow.
meme coin. It's on Robinhood in the US. Like, if you're thinking about, TradFi getting into crypto and they're going to put an ETF in anything they can, it's a high market cap thing. It's been around for a while. It's like the original meme coin joke. I mean, Palmer rage quit from crypto, even though he created this like amazingly hilarious thing. So yeah, I think Doge gets an ETF before the end of the cycle.
I hit up Jan Van Eck. It was just last week. I said, Jan, you've got to do this. You've got to file for the Dogecoin ETF. He's like, I just want to make sure I don't go to prison first. I said, look, you'll be fine. It's been around. It's proven itself. It's outperformed Bitcoin every cycle. I mean, it's been astonishingly good. So I'm working in the background to try and make this happen. But I haven't got through Jan yet, but I'll get somebody. We'll get Hunter Horsley, Jan, one of these guys will force across the line. It's unlikely to be BlackRock, but we'll give that a go too.